guys, what's up? Coming to you with a video on how to view, create, and delete auto messages on Twitter. So auto messages, by that I mean auto DMs, welcome messages, whatever you want to call them. So when a new follower, a new Twitter user in general comes and opens up a DM with you, wanting to message you something, maybe to inquire about services or something like that, you can have a message automatically pop up to them with any information that you wish to portray to these first time messengers, first time interactors. So you guys might remember a video that I put up beforehand on this. However, there were a couple issues with the code, and I also wanted to go into a little bit more detail to help clarify some questions that I got. Um, so first things first, this is all through Twitter's developer portal, Twitter's developer API, so no external third-party security issues that you'll need to worry about. This is purely sponsored by and through Twitter. Um, so I'm not going to go into how to create an app. That info is readily available on YouTube and not too hard to get yourself a developer portal and then create an app. One thing I will mention is that for app permissions, you'll want to make sure you can get read, write, and direct messages. That ability to post direct messages is crucial to this entire thing working. So assuming you have this part set up here, I'm going to go on to the keys and tokens part. You should have three sets of keys and tokens here. You will not need the bearer token. You will need the API key and secret, and you will need the access token and secret. Um, so in the interest of not regenerating my things too often, um, I think there's some sort of limit on there, although I'm not 100% sure on this. What I will say is that when you regenerate this, you'll get two things: the API key and the API secret, top and bottom. The API key you'll want to go ahead and put in this client key portal in the code. This code will be shared in the description and will be set up for you to basically paste something in for each of these four things. So the top entry you get, the API key, should go into client key. The API secret that you get from this should go into the client secret. Now for OAuth key and OAuth token secret, you want to get those from this access thing right here. So you're going to regenerate those as you need to. Access token should go into the OAuth key, and then access secret should go into the OAuth token secret. And make sure that the character sequence is within the quotes. The quotes are important. For anyone that's slightly familiar with coding, it basically means that I want to make sure that those are interpreted by the rest of the code as strings and not something else that's special. So we've now gotten these tokens in there. We're ready to get started with the actual code. So first thing I'm going to do is, as soon as you've imported these into the code, you can press play here. That basically sets up the code to use these variables later on. So I already have a welcome message on my account set up. So the first thing I want to go do is figure out what the ID of that welcome message is, so I can go ahead and delete it and demo how to delete them. So I'm going to scroll down to the get a list of welcome messages. I'm going to go ahead, there's already an existing one, but we don't need that. I want to re-show that. So I'm going to hit play here. You shouldn't need to edit this code at all. However, one warning is that if you don't already have an existing list of welcome messages, this code will error out. So response 200, which is good right here. It shows us the welcome message that we have. I'm going to go ahead, you copy this ID that it shows you down here. I'm going to Control C that to copy. You can go up to this delete any welcome messages portion, copy that welcome message in, and then make sure this time that it's not in quotes. So you want the ID to just be a number. I'm going to go ahead and press play here, and that gives us a response 204. Everything is good. Everything went through successfully. So now we don't have a welcome message anymore, so it's time to go ahead and create one. So I'm going to go ahead all the way down to set new welcome message. I'm going to call this trial for YouTube testing v2, just some dummy thing for right now. I'm going to go ahead here. Let's take out the previous entry. I'm going to go ahead and press play here. You should get a response 200. You do. And it gives you a new welcome message with a new ID. So if I go down here, copy this ID, crucial point here, every time you set a new welcome message, you have to set a new associated welcome message rule for that message. And typically most users will just have one welcome message and one welcome message associated, one message rule associated with it, and that's going to be no different here in my case. So now that I have this ID, I'm going to scroll down to the set a new welcome message rule. It's going to copy paste it there. And then that's all you should need to do here. I'm going to delete the previous iteration of the code that I ran, and I'm going to press play here, and response 200 again, which is a good thing. So now we have a welcome message rule associated with it. So that's great. And if you want to verify that things didn't, just go weird, I'm going to delete the previous iterations of when I ran this code, run it again, and you'll notice that this message of trial for YouTube testing v2 came up now here. And if I want to just sanity check that the rule exists for this, press play here, and the rule exists here. And you can see that this ID right here is going to be the same as what popped up when you set a new welcome message rule. So everything should be fine and dandy. I'm going to go ahead to my incognito tab with a different YouTube account. With a different Twitter account signed in. I'm going to start a new message to my original account that I'm signed in with that I did the code for. I hit next, and you see trial for YouTube testing v2 popped up. So we know that all is good here. I'm going to go ahead and leave the conversation. So hopefully that was a good recap of how to. Sorry, I shouldn't say recap. Hopefully that was a good tutorial on how to do a bunch of things with setting auto messages, either view them, delete them, create them, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to go ahead and run through a quick recap of it. Make sure that this with the current keys and secrets has been ran. You just want to make sure you've run it. Then if you already have a welcome message set up, you're going to want to get the list of them first. You're going to want to take the ID from it and put it into this delete option right here and press play. Let it delete that, then scroll down to set a new welcome message, put whatever you want to, press play, let it set that new welcome message, take that ID and put it into the set a new welcome message rule. And you can go ahead and get the ID from that, and just make sure it's a sanity check that it pops up when you get a list of the welcome message rules and get a list of welcome messages. Note is that I never went into explicitly deleting a welcome message rule because you shouldn't need to. If you delete the welcome message, the rule should go along with it. So you shouldn't need to worry about that. So hopefully that helps everyone. And of course, if you don't, one thing I didn't mention, I guess, but hopefully clear is that if you don't have a welcome message set up at all, you can go straight to this set new welcome message, type in whatever you want to, make sure it stays in quotes as a string, and then go from there. So I'm happy to answer any questions via comment. Hopefully this is a fairly straightforward thing to use, and I wish you good luck in using your new Twitter auto DMs. Thank you.